Hey, y'all, each week on The Sam Sanders Show from KCRW, we ask big questions and share hot takes about the pop culture we love.
Now that we have YouTube, we don't need any more biopics. If they've been alive such that I can watch them on YouTube, I don't need it.
I don't think that music is getting worse. I think y'all just don't listen to artists who aren't in the mainstream.
Taylor Swift, retire. It's time to retire.
The Sam Sanders Show from KCRW, wherever you get your podcast, and on YouTube.
Hello, and welcome to a special episode of Life in Seven Songs from the San Francisco Standard. I'm your host, Sophie Behrman. It's been a little over a year since we launched this show, and this milestone got our team thinking about what we've learned so far from making it. And it felt like it would be a good time to reflect, answer some questions we get a lot about the show, share more about me, and get to know you, our listeners, a little better. And we have some news to share as well. You might have noticed that we're popping up in your feed more regularly. We are now officially a weekly show, so you can find us here every Tuesday. And to go with that, we've got some new show art, which we think captures the spirit of the podcast. Be sure to check it out. I have a confession. I have never considered myself a, quote, music person. I don't play an instrument. I'm not the friend you want on your trivia team when a mystery song plays at the bar. I will not be able to tell you what it is. But one of the biggest things I've learned from making this show is none of that really matters. You don't need to be an expert in music to have it move you. It finds you in small moments, pivotal ones, and everything in between. So, in that spirit, I wanted to share some of the songs that have stayed with me and the stories behind them. And to help me do that, I'm joined by our senior producer, Jasmine Morris.
Hey, Sophie.
Hey.
Okay, so we obviously don't have time to hear all of your 7 songs, but if you could choose just one that would help listeners, get to know you a little better, what would you choose?
Oh, I feel like choosing one is even harder than choosing 7.
Definitely.
This is unfair. Take this as like one of my 7. But the song I chose is When You Say Nothing at All by Ronan Keating, which I'm kind of embarrassed to admit I first became aware of from the film Notting Hill. I've probably watched that movie multiple times a year, so I know the song well. But it has these lyrics that have sort of taken on new meaning for me since I became a mother. I recently had a daughter. She is 10 months old now. I sing this to her a lot at night to soothe her before I put her to bed. And I remember singing it and having this like aha light bulb moment where I realized the lyrics were just us in this like special cocoon of a moment. The lyrics say, "It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark." And there are so many nights where it'll be 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning and it's just me and my daughter in the nursery in a rocking chair. And I am singing this to her and probably crying a little bit with joy or whatever emotions of just overwhelm at the sort of closeness that I have been lucky to feel in my life with my sister and my husband and my mom and my dad and so many people. But nothing compares to holding my little baby and without her saying a word, knowing that I'm everything that she needs.
Oh, I can see you tearing up right now.
Yep.
Oh, let's take a listen.
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark.
It's corny, but I don't even care. I love it.
It's also interesting how you say you're not a music person, and yet here you have this memory of connecting with your daughter, and in that moment you chose to sing.
I actually sing all the time. I love to sing. I come from a pretty musical family, and I think there's some baggage there because I always felt like the odd one out who couldn't keep a tune to save my life.
Hilarious. All right, so let's talk about the origins of this show and how you came to host it.
I took 6 months off from the San Francisco Standard to hike the Pacific Crest Trail in 2023, and I did that with my husband, and it was a trek. And while I was on the trail, I got a call from the Standard CEO with this sort of seedling of an idea, which was to do some sort of podcast about the songs that people say have shaped their lives. And I was listening to a lot of music on trail because by day like 3, my husband and I got totally sick of each other. We ran out. You run out of things to say. Yeah. So it was podcasts and music. And so that was on my mind of like, oh yeah, our lives do have soundtracks.
So I got to know, while you're hiking the PCT, what were you listening to? Did you have any songs on repeat?
Oh, yes. I had many, but I think when I got the call, I was in the desert section. And I had been obsessed with Glass Animals' Heat Waves. And it's like, late nights in the middle of June, Heat Waves been faking me out. It has a lot of mention to heat, so it just fit.
Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happy all night.
And that takes you right back to the desert?
Oh, yeah, right back.
So when the CEO called you with this idea, what was your first reaction?
I thought it made a lot of sense. At first, I ran through all the why it wouldn't work type things. Maybe I'm not the right person. But then it just dawned on me that it's not about taste. It's about the songs that move you. And it could be like a song that you don't even think is that good, but it's just become part of your soul and story. And it does connect to so many specific memories, and it can transport us through space and time and bring us right back to a certain age or feeling. It unlocks something.
Okay, so one question we get a lot is, why 7? How would you answer that?
It's kind of a numerology thing. To me, it symbolizes completeness. So you have like 7 days of the week, 7 notes in a major music scale, 7 continents, 7 wonders of the world. There's just this sense of like a life fully lived, or when you've got through 7, you've told a story. That's what this show does. We start in childhood often and we make our way through someone's life. And why not 7?
Lucky number 7, as they say. Okay, so as you said earlier, it's been about a year since we've been making this show. If you had to guess, who do you think our most popular artist is?
Ooh, it has to be Tracy Chapman, I think, because Fast Car is so popular.
Tracy's a close second.
Okay. Is it the Beatles?
Yeah, of course. The Beatles have been chosen about 7 times. It's
7!
Funny. We've got 7 again. Eleanor Rigby, Here Comes the Sun, Hey Jude, Lady Madonna, Strawberry Fields Forever, Let It Be, She's Leaving Home. It's the Beatles, but all different songs, which also speaks to their genius.
Songs.
Yeah. But yes, Tracy Chapman is a close number 2. She has been picked 6 times. With Fast Car
and the fun fact there, yes, Fast Car is like
the most popular choice.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, Sophie Behrman, thanks so much for sharing your 2 songs with us.
You're welcome. I didn't expect to cry so quickly.
I definitely expected you to cry quickly.
Honestly, that's fair.
Partly because I know you, but also the show seems to have that impact on just about every guest. And I have receipts.
You can see a lot of emotion.
They didn't tell me it was going to be like therapy.
I love this song. It makes me cry.
It would make me cry before I came out. It made me cry after I came out. It still makes me cry.
The song still gets me. Whew.
Why am I crying? Oh my god, this is so annoying. Sophie! Maybe it's the music. It's the music.
I don't normally cry in interviews. This was nice. It was cathartic.
Now you're making me cry.
Look at us both crying.
Coming up after the break, we'll hear from some of you about the music that's defined your lives so far. Stay with us. Hey everyone, I want to recommend a podcast. Hard Knocks is a show about resilience, self-discovery, and finding meaning after chaos, hosted by Amanda Knox. Each week, Amanda sits down with fascinating guests, writers, thinkers, artists, to explore how we learn, grow, and rebuild ourselves after life knocks us down. Amanda brings humor, honesty, and hard-earned perspective to every conversation, drawing on her own experience of being wrongfully convicted and rebuilding her life. Amanda was a guest on Life in 7 Songs in one of our most moving episodes, opening up about how music became a lifeline during her years of wrongful imprisonment. On our show, she spoke candidly about turning pain into wisdom and also about how we're all so much more than our worst moments. If you liked that episode, you'll love her show, available wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm Jesse Alejandro Cottrell.
And I'm Emily Dreyfus, and this is Pacific Standard Time.
We have stories from all over the state of California, all the big battles that are happening here.
Prop 50,
housing affordability,
tech,
and immigration.
And we're really excited to bring you the stories about how California is dealing with what it means to be alive in 2025.
Subscribe to Pacific Standard Time, a new weekly show from the San Francisco Standard.
We'll have new episodes every Wednesday starting November 19th, wherever you get your podcasts.
If you've listened to an episode recently, you probably know that we've been asking you to reach out to us and tell us what songs have shaped you. And some of you really came through. So I want to share some of those calls, some of those songs, and those stories. Many of you chose songs that took you back in time to moments of transition or transformation, like Matt, who called in with the song that made him realize the power of music.
When I think about the songs that shaped me, Bob Dylan's Tangled Up in Blue comes immediately to mind.
Early one morning the sun was shining, I was laying in bed.
I remember vividly the first time I heard that song. I was probably 14, lying in bed, headphones on, and I remember being transported to some faraway place.
Listener Jack chose Rome by the B-52s.
I heard it at a time in my life when things were really starting to look up in a big way, following a fairly miserable period in my early and mid-20s. And it makes me yearn to pack a suitcase and head out of the door to somewhere else.
We also heard from Tim, who picked a song that captures that feeling of unbridled youth.
When I hear Paranoid Android by Radiohead, I'm dropped right back to the summer of 1997. I'd sometimes just ride my bike through the streetlights. Headphones on, OK Computer, my soundtrack. A whole world of possibilities still lay before me.
And for our next listener, Carole King's Beautiful was kind of life-changing.
I was super gay from when I was little and super effeminate, and there were lots of mean words thrown at me when I was a kid throughout my whole life. So the signal was, to me, was, hide yourself, don't be who you are. They were going to toughen me up with baseball and football and hockey. And I was terrible at all those things. Awful.
But then one Christmas morning in 1973, he got the gift that kept on giving, Carole King's album Tapestry.
I can remember. I get this black record player with the speakers on the side, and it folded down, putting on the record, and it was the third song on the second side. And of course, there's You Come to Beautiful. And that song is like fuel to not just feel good about yourself, but to feel okay about spreading joy in the world.
Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful.
Hearing those words, for somebody who was struggling, because I also didn't feel very beautiful. I was a little bit of a chubby kid. The first thing I would do when I got up was put that fucking song on to just start my day on the right foot.
This listener, who goes by Mother Chaka, is a beloved drag queen who has gone on to grace the pages of Vogue and Out magazine. He's even been featured in a book called Legends of Drag.
Despite what anybody told me, I made myself beautiful. I had a great drag career. I blame Carole King.
While a lot of you chose songs marking a beginning of sorts, just as many of you shared songs tied to an ending. Listener Nick called in with a song connected to the loss of his father and the moments just after his dad died.
I found myself pulling over on the side of the highway. On the radio came Beautiful Day by U2. I started crying to a degree I've never really cried before. And for 10 years, I couldn't listen. It was a reminder of my last moments with my father. It hurt too much. After a long depression and alcohol abuse, I recently started listening to Beautiful Day again. This time it has a whole different meaning to me. In the recovery world, we take things one day at a time. And when I hear Beautiful Day, I know that today's going to be okay. I know that my dad is with me.
We also got a call from Angie, who chose the song As by Stevie Wonder.
That song has resonated with me for a very long time. I was raised in a close-knit family, and today I attach the song to me and my husband and our daughter. We call ourselves We Three.
This idea of we three is really important to Angie because it wasn't always three. Many years ago, she and her husband lost a child in a house fire.
She was 2 years old, and I must say that losing a child, having a child go before you, it's like a freak of nature. It's a complete perversion of life. And so there's a part of the song that takes me there, but doesn't leave me there.
As the day I know I'm living, but tomorrow could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. For I'll know
We're all living today, but tomorrow we could become the past, and we don't know whether we will or not. So that's where it takes me. It takes me from our daughter who died in the fire to this place where, as today I know I'm living, so live.
That kind of connection, using music to honor those around us now, is at the heart of this next story, too.
I tried out for the school talent show by learning the lyrics to Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, and I interpreted the song into American Sign Language.
This is Eleanor, who grew up in the 1960s with two deaf parents.
I went on stage and I performed the song, and I was very pleased with how it turned out. Well, immediately when I got off the stage, the school principal informed me that I would not be allowed to perform that and that I should be very, very ashamed of myself.
That response didn't make sense to me, so I called Eleanor to find out more. Why did they react that way?
She thought it was ugly. She thought I was gesturing. Because the thing is ever since we were little, people would always make fun of us for signing. They would mock us. She reacted to me the same way that all those people making fun of us would react to us. If it was something I had done, like when I had put gum on Mr. Jackson's chair, I got it. I should be ashamed of having done that. You know what? You're right. But signing? The Sound of Silence is all about the lack of connection between people.
people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share.
What a perfect song to sign to, because it really spoke to the shame that's put on people who are different, the condescension. I mean, my very earliest memory was a neighbor said to me, "What's it like to have a mommy who's deaf and dumb?" And I said, "My mommy's not dumb, you are."
Did anyone say good job after the show?
No. I look back and think, I was really trying hard to make good in a situation that was so painful. But for me, what it did is it formed this strong belief that nobody is greater than anybody else.
Eleanor went on to become an interpreter, advocate, and psychotherapist working with the deaf community. We also heard from Alex.
I chose Madonna's Vogue because it helps awaken my
queerness when I was still really closeted as a teenager. And it also is related to a triumphant figure skating story from my teenage years.
Alex happens to be my coworker at the San Francisco Standard, but I'd never heard this story before.
So I grew up in Ohio, and my little sister, she got me into figure skating. And so we actually started pair skating together. And it was very much like The Cutting Edge, the movie from the 90s, very dramatic, blood, sweat, and tears, fighting on the ice. I've dropped her many times. And so every Christmas, there would be this sort of like open recital where you got to actually like choreograph your own routine. And so for one year, my sister and I decided to pair skate to Madonna's Vogue. I was like doing the hand snaps and she like came over from the side of the rink. We did the death spiral. It was so fun. And like I didn't know it at the time really, but it was like my first public gay like appearance basically. I can picture myself doing that with my sister, like in my head, like a film.
How old were you when you did that performance?
14, 15, 16, something like that.
If you could go back and play Vogue for that younger self on the ice, what would you want that version of you to hear?
I mean, at the time, like I knew deep down that I was gay, but because I grew up Catholic and everything, I told myself like I would get married to a woman. I was very sure that I was going to be able to fake that. Now, like looking back, it's like, first of all, don't fake it. And second of all, you had no chance faking it. And that's totally fine. Like, be that gay little boy on the ice and enjoy it because it's a lot of fun.
Last but not least, we hear from Chris, who shared a memory connected to the song Every Breath You Take by The Police.
This song brings back memories of my dad, and he was a very busy man, and so I didn't get to spend too much time with him. But when he was free, on Fridays, we would visit this pizza parlor, and we would play arcade games and eat pizza together, and there was a jukebox there. And every time, my dad would choose Every Breath You Take. So this song will always be special to me.
Every breath you take.
He was a busy entrepreneur. He really enjoyed what he did, but it comes at a cost, which is, working really hard. That's why I wasn't able to see him much.
Chris, given that your dad wasn't around all that much, why do you think of all the songs you could have picked, you chose one to do with your dad?
Great question. I've heard you say this on your show that, music can basically transport you to a certain time and you remember where you were and how old you were and what you were going through. And so when that song comes on the radio or when I hear it, that's the memory that I have is that pizza parlor and being with my dad and my brother.
Did you ever tell your dad how special those Fridays were to you?
Unfortunately, I never did. My dad passed away a few years ago. It would be awesome if, I could tell him that before he passed away.
A lot of time has passed since Chris was that little kid in the pizza parlor, and now he has children of his own.
I think many parents, once they have their children, there are things that they want to repeat what their parents did, and there are things that they want to do differently. And I know there was a tough situation for my dad. I think any entrepreneur, you got to be all in and really committed. So I understand why he wasn't always as present for us. But being more present in my kid's life and knowing what they're going through on a day-to-day basis, knowing what clothes they wear, what friends they have, what activities they do is important for me so I can have conversations with them about those things.
Before we ended our call, Chris shared another song that has made an impact on him.
I'll say this about your show. I think the intro and outro music is great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's catchy, right?
It feels kind of, a little bit nostalgic, reminiscent, sappy. So that's why I like it.
That might be the first time our music has made someone's list. That's all for this week. Thank you to everyone who submitted a song, and a special thank you to the voices you heard in this show: Matt, Jack, Tim, Mother Chukka, Nick, Angie, Eleanor, Alex, and Chris. If you weren't featured this time, we may do this again in the future, so our email is always open. You can send us your song and story anytime at lifeinsevensongs@sfstandard.com. We've got some really exciting guests coming up, and again, we're a weekly show now, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything in your feed. Life in 7 Songs is a production from the San Francisco Standard. Our senior producer is Jasmine Morris. Our producers are Michelle Land. She also mixes the show, and Tessa Kramer. Our music consultant is Sarah Tembekshian. Executive producers are Griffin Gaffney, John Steinberg, and me. The masterminds behind our theme music are Kate Davis and Zubin Hensler, and our brand new show art is by Jess Hutchison. If you want to hear the songs you all submitted to us in a playlist, you can find them at sf.news/Spotify and listen to them in full. I'm Sophie Behrman. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.